Welcome to this first Stories for Life minisode from the SpaceShip Earth Podcast. The intention with these mini episodes is to serve up short-form sonic offerings, poems, stories, readings, meditations, musical gifts, and more. These offerings will most likely be riffing on either love stories that can help us relate to ourselves, to each other, and to this more than human world that we inhabit in more entangled, mysterious, interconnected, and life-sustaining ways. Or drawing our attention to horror stories in our modern cultures that through their deeply ingrained pervasiveness keep us trapped in the destructive and divisive story of separation. This first offering comes from writer and poet Mike Benson, a poem entitled GDP Seems Kind of Gross, written during a Stories for Life hack in London in 2019. The poem was a response to the question, how has GDP, gross domestic product, a made-up story of how to measure economic success, which the inventor himself warned governments never to use as a sole indicator of economic success, become the single organising story that all nations on Earth now use to calculate their economic success. As Robert Kennedy said in 1968, GDP measures everything except that which is worthwhile. We hope you enjoy, and please do share with others if this speaks to you. Stories for Life.
Gross domestic product. What are we measuring? It's not worth the bar chart it's written on. Where do these numbers come from? What do they tell us? What did they sell us? A myth? A mistake? A break from reality? The West is the best. The West can invest. The growth fetish and its fetishists. Even the inventor of GDP said it would never work because it's a tiny part of the story. It's not even proper accounting. Okay, let's take a look at income and expenditure, the profit and loss, the gain and the cost. Then we'll see who's boss. Okay, so let's take a look at the cash account. We're all grown-ups here. Fine. Are we up? Are we down? Okay. Then let's take a look at some of the other criteria. Improved or inferior? How's our health? The medical and mental state of the nation. Are we up? Are we down? How many hours have we worked? How much distance commuted? How many dinners have we eaten alone? How many stressed out kids have contemplated suicide this year? What's our rate of self-harm? How do we measure addictions, afflictions? How many families are at work but still struggling to make ends meet, lining up at food banks embarrassed they can't afford to eat? How much meat? How many sick people lying on trolleys in overcrowded hospitals? What's our level of emotional stability? How much have we grown our caring capability? How good is our country at adaptability, accountability? How much blame? How much shame? Let's take a look at the resources we've used. What's our carbon GDP? How much fuel have we burned this year? How many flights? How many electric lights burn bright at night? Have we measured the amount of homelessness, of people in crisis, of the resources required to power our success? How many refugees wash up on our shores? Where are they now? What's the state of our natural nation? What's the strength of our plant population? What crops have we grown? What trees have we felled? Our animals, domestic and wild? Does it still take the actions of a single child to kick us into gear? Or have we done better this year? What's our domestic product? How much success? How many fuck-ups? Who's got the most? Seems kind of gross.